child, if there are two people in Hollywood you don't want spilling your business, it's Jaguar Wright and Orlando Brown, because these two have zero filter and they're never afraid to speak their truth. And this time, they're out here spilling all the tea on some of the undercover rappers in the industry who are still on the DL. Girl, the names on their list will leave you shook. Jaguar and Orlando have been trying to tell us for a long time about how things in the industry are not always what they seem to be. And it looks like they were on to something, y'all. Y'all need to get on this real quick, because these two are determined to be as chaotic as possible, and they did not hold anything back. If y'all have been keeping your ears to the streets, then you probably heard all the tea about how most of the rappers in Hollywood secretly like men and only use women as a cover so people don't realize that they like getting bent over and taken to Pound Town. Well, that is until Orlando Brown and Jaguar Wright decided to pop up and expose everyone. And child, these two were messy AF, but hey, we love them for it. Y'all know how everyone used to call Jaguar and Orlando crazy for the wild stories they used to tell? Well, fast forward a couple of years, and with what we now know about the industry, it looks like we might owe them an apology, because these two were way ahead of their time when it comes to exposing the industry for what it really is. Now, with all the backlash that they've gotten over the years, you'd think that they would keep their mouths shut and stop spilling tea, right? Well, you clearly don't know these two, because they're determined to expose shady celebs, and they're gonna stop at nothing to say what they have to say. To put into perspective just how brave these two are, we've seen so many instances of celebrities almost losing everything when they try to expose DL celebrities. I mean, take Wendy Williams, for example, and how she almost lost her entire career because she tried to expose Diddy for being on the DL. This happened back in the 90s when Wendy worked at HOT 97. According to people in the know, Wendy stumbled on a picture of Diddy getting his pants pulled down by a man when he was on vacation with a group of people in Cancun. Puff got one of the hottest DJs off HOT 97 because she wanted to put up a picture of him getting his pants pulled down. You understand what I'm saying? Puff had power. Speaking of that, I'm happy you brought that up. Kirk Bars did an interview with him some months ago, and he told a story about Wendy Williams. She got fired from HOT 97 because she had a picture of Puffy, and she was saying on air that she was going to reveal the picture. If you don't mind, because he told me the story but didn't go into detail. He never told me what was in the picture. So if you don't mind, give me the story from your point of view and what was in the picture, because for some reason he never went into detail about that. We were in Cancun and we were on our way to the Island of Women, you understand, and that's all it was, bro. For whatever reason, dude was playing with Puff, he went behind him, grabbed his trunks, and pulled him down. When he grabbed his trunks to pull them down, some girls that were taking pictures snapped that moment and emailed it back to Wendy Williams. He said, Wendy said she had him in a compromising position and made it seem like he was gay or something like that, and she was going to put it out, so they stopped her from putting it out, and they got her fired from HOT 97 because of it. As if that wasn't bad enough, he also allegedly tried to get Wendy jumped by members of his girl group Total. I remember I got off the air one day and Total was downstairs waiting. Everybody upstairs at the radio station was looking down, egging it on, waiting for something to go down. I wasn't yet married at the time, and my knight in shining armor screeched up in his car out of nowhere. I didn't even know what was about to happen. Scale was hiding like a girl. Thanks, Scale. I'm standing at the door like, what? I was literally about to go through it. Now, I'm not one to say, let's fight, because I'm not that type of person. Wendy Williams spoke about this in an interview a couple of years before she retired from TV, and she was really salty about it. There was a radio personality once upon a time named Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about this. Now, if a powerful woman like Wendy came very close to losing it all because she decided to spill the truth, can you imagine how much worse it would be for Jaguar and Orlando? As bad as it is, Orlando is determined to speak his truth once and for all. They make you buckle, bro, he said. You know what I'm saying? They make you start crying. Like, you know what I'm saying. Speaking of Orlando, in that interview, he made some very bold claims about how Diddy allegedly gave him some mouth action. Some of that G300, if you know what I mean. Yo, Daddy gave me the Usk Kosh. He gave me the Us Mosh D. Yeah, yeah. I mean, he gave me the Us Mosh. I love it, yo, I love it. He gave me the Us Kosh Mosh. This might seem crazy at first, but when you realize that Diddy has so many allegations against him, including one from Elrod, who made similar claims, it starts to make more sense. But that's not all. In another video that went viral, Orlando made some wild claims about how he allegedly had a little something something with a couple of rappers in the industry, including Drake, Diddy, and even Busta Rhymes. We made love. Who you made love with? Busta Rhymes. You just told me you saw Busta in the airport too. And he doesn't know you? You smashed Drake. No, I never smashed. Oh, you made love to Drake? And Williams, bro, you smashing a lot of people. What's that? Terrence Howard? Terrence Howard. Usher is a gusher. Amazing. What? I'm telling you, bro, it's my dad's friends. My dad sicked his baddest friends on me. Oh, Larry, who's your dad? Listen, child, isn't it crazy how many people on the list have been battling allegations for years? And speaking of Busta, he has also had more than his fair share of allegations about being on the DL, even though he has gone over and beyond to try to hide it. A couple of months ago, his former bodyguard exposed him for allegedly having a little something something with his gay lawyer, and also paying for gay men to be in his section at the club. So, and my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some, we gotta bring some, what they call them. I'm not gonna say that on here. They call them fun boys. They say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. As you know, I bodyguarded for Ghostface before, you feel me? And being around him, you hear things, you feel me? My auntie's like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan, you feel me? Like every cookout, she's playing all his little fast rapping and all of that. Him and Craig Mack playing that, bro, on my soul. I'm out with a group of people at this time. I was with Don Benjamin. You familiar with him? Oh, never heard of him. Model dude, like a model guy, he'd be doing some rapping and stuff. His name's Don Benjamin. I'm out with Don Benjamin at the club. We ended up going to Busta Rhymes' section. So we got this little lawyer guy that was with us, and the little lawyer guy, you know, he was a gay dude. Super cool. Feel me? Good guy, bro. Busta Rhymes wanted him in his section so bad, like he pulled him to the section, like through the rope, and tucked him off in the corner. So I'm looking like, well, he ain't come with us. Well, I know he was in the little group. So if I go out with somebody, like a group of people, I try to make sure everybody gets there together and leaves together. No, he stayed with them. He stayed in there with them, bro. But that's not all. Another YouTuber made wild claims about how Busta allegedly put moves on him and tried to get him into his VIP section at the club. And walking across the street, and Busta Rhymes just grabbed my hand. He's shaking it. He's holding my hand. Now, I ain't know it was Busta at first. You know, Busta Rhymes is tall. I'm short, so I came up to about right here. So the first thing I noticed was this big flip mode chain that was blinding me. So I look at the chain, and I'm like, and I look up, I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he's holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know? And then I noticed through my peripheral vision, this side eye, this big bodyguard in black, just standing there, looking around. You know, he looked at me, then kept looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still has my hand in his hand. And he says, you know, I'm about to go in this club. We got a section. You can come in with me if you want. I'm like, word for real? Like, that's what's up? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, you know, tell my people I'll come in. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know. Tell them that you're coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, don't even get me started on the rumors about Drake allegedly being on the DL. Folks have been calling him Zesty for years, and even though he hasn't been caught with his pants down yet, fans wouldn't be surprised if the rumors turned out to be true. Now, moving on to Jaguar, she has had a lot to say about gay celebs, making some crazy claims about how these gay rappers allegedly prey on younger rappers in exchange for helping them make their way in the industry. One of the first names on her list was 50 Cent, and I'm not going to lie, this one left fans shook. If there's one person that nobody expected to have DL allegations, it's 50. I mean, he has made it his entire personality to clown rappers he thinks are in the closet. He has spent years trolling Diddy for allegedly being on the DL. He never took days off from clowning Diddy, even going as far as trolling him from his sickbed, saying, I can no longer help you guys. Soon, you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. So, to find out that 50 himself could be on the DL is, wow, to say the least. But if there's one person you could trust to have all the tea, it's Jaguar Wright. And she had a lot to say about 50 being on the DL. Soulja Boy, I just want to say this about Soulja Boy. Y'all gotta give him a little bit of latitude because he's a victim. The exposure's popping off. You know, he'd been in the rap game since he was little, just like Wheezy. Yeah, and his booty bin ran through quite a bit. Oh no, she said that? You don't remember when he was in New York and they caught wind of one thing to whoever his big daddy was? Threw him out into the hallway. He was walking around in the hallway, holding his leg. This couple has actually appeared on a magazine cover together, but he's a swish. That's why he's always able to call others out for being a swish. Birds of a feather flock together. That's true. Game recognizes game. There's no way in the world that man understands that much about homosexual dealings in the industry, constantly calling people out, and hasn't seen any of it personally. But 50 Cent was not the only name on Jaguar's list, because she also exposed Will Smith for... Allegedly, Will Smith has been accused of doing the same thing to rappers he claimed to mentor, leaving the younger rappers traumatized by his actions. One of the names mentioned by Jaguar was Bryshire Gray, known for his role in Empire. Bryshire was introduced to Will by his manager Charlie Mack when he started working on Empire. Will took Bryshire under his wing, but according to Jaguar, things soon went left when Will allegedly started doing some seriously shady stuff to Bryshire. Pin men have left their house screaming to get away from them in their mentorship. Meek Mill Bryshire Gray left that house screaming. August was the only one that stayed, and I guess he was really sick. He needed a dog. And speaking of Meek Mill, I know y'all have heard all the reports about him being on the DL and allegedly getting his back broken by Diddy. In Lil Rod's lawsuit, he exposed Meek for allegedly being Diddy's boy toy, saying Mr. Combs informed Mr. Jones that he had engaged in intercourse with a rapper, an R&B singer, and Stevie J. Mr. Combs promised to make sure that Mr. Jones wins Producer of the Year at the Grammys if he engages in homosexuality. In the footnote, it was written, the rapper is a Philadelphia rapper who dated Nicki Minaj. The singer performed at the Super Bowl and had a successful Vegas residency. Meek Mill went off on this, claiming he was innocent and had never had anything to do with Diddy, insisting that he wasn't on the DL. However, he went on a long rant that only made him look guiltier with every second, and he ended up digging himself into a deeper hole. It got messier when fans dug out this old video of him cooling off in Diddy's pool, and it looked like his behind was on fire. Hey, what's up, King? Son, man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Love you. Don't even get me started on that messy video that leaked of Diddy allegedly taking Meek Mill to Pound Town. No, Diddy had that man in the room. Look, yes, I put my ear to the door and I brought the phone, because Diddy started going into overdrive. I didn't know what was going on, but I just heard balls slapping against cheeks. I heard struggling to take it. I heard things like, yeah, daddy, like when he started all that daddy this and daddy that. And then I heard some hollering and struggling, like, yeah, I kept the phone there and I recorded all this. Child, this is a hot mess. And at this point, you've got to wonder if anyone in the industry is who they claim to be, because we've heard so many stories about celebs doing some pretty shady stuff. Thanks to people like Jaguar and Orlando, we're bound to keep hearing more crazy stories out of Hollyweird. But I want to know how you guys feel about these new revelations. Drop your thoughts in the comments and then check out this next. I'm like, oh, what's up, Busta? What's up? Now he's holding my hand the whole time. I'm like, what's up, man? Like, what you doing? And I was like, oh, me and my people, we about to go to this club around the corner. What's up, man? You know? And then I noticed through my peripheral vision, this side eye, this big bodyguard in black, just standing there, looking around. You know, he looked at me, then kept looking around. Meanwhile, Busta still has my hand in his hand. And he says, you know, I'm about to go in this club. We got a section. You can come in with me if you want. I'm like, word, for real? Like, that's what's up? He was like, yeah. I was like, well, I gotta, you know, tell my people I'll come in. You know what I'm saying? He was like, okay, just let me know. Tell them that you're coming in there to meet with me and come on up. And I was like, don't even get me started on the rumors about Drake allegedly being on the DL. Folks have been calling him Zesty for years, and even though he hasn't been caught with his pants down yet, fans wouldn't be surprised if the rumors turned out to be true. Now, moving on to Jaguar, she has had a lot to say about gay celebs, making some crazy claims about how these gay rappers allegedly prey on younger rappers in exchange for helping them make their way in the industry. One of the first names on her list was 50 Cent, and I'm not going to lie, this one left fans shook. If there's one person that nobody expected to have DL allegations, it's 50. I mean, he has made it his entire personality to clown rappers he thinks are in the closet. He has spent years trolling Diddy for allegedly being on the DL. He never took days off from clowning Diddy, even going as far as trolling him from his sickbed, saying, Bye, I can no longer help you guys. Soon, you will all be gay and happy. You are all now left under the leadership of Puffy Daddy. Report to the nearest rainbow. So, to find out that 50 himself could be on the DL is, wow, to say the least. But if there's one person you could trust to have